So what is a problem that most guys face and you just get used to? It's your balls sticking to your legs. And that's where today's video sponsor, Sheath, comes in, because it's a problem that we always have to adjust. You put your hand in your pocket, or you have to get up out of the seat while you're driving. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. If you tried Sheath already, which a lot of guys have, they've been sponsoring the channel for a long time. If you haven't, then it's your time to find out exactly what the buzz is about. Check out the link in the description, and there is a special promo code, SSR30, that's gonna save you 30% off your order. Who needs Cyber Monday? Who needs Black Friday? Doesn't matter. You can do that any point in time. If you wanna wait till you get a gift card after the holiday, you are not gonna go wrong. Your balls are gonna thank me. They are no longer gonna be sticking to your leg, and you are gonna be a happy guy. And if you're not a happy guy, probably pretty weird, because it works for everybody. But if it doesn't work for you or you're not feeling it, they've got a 100% money back guarantee and great customer service. So you send them those dirty skivvies back and they're going to give you your coin right back in your pocket. I promise you're not going to do that because they're awesome, but they will. All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and look who's back and shiny. My Bentley is back. I ended up buying another set of the 21-inch wheels. I know they're soft, but I'm going to be selling the Bentley. And the computer doesn't have an option. It's got the 21s or the 20s. The other ones I had were 19s. So I figured I'd get the original wheels on it. So we got the original wheels. This one's going. This one took a while to repair, not for any reason other than the insurance companies. Now, insurance companies have been a big pain in the ass lately. And I've had these stories. I just told you, I was at VidWiki, I think. I was talking about insurance companies, how difficult is the insurance is in this industry, and what happens and why companies are afraid to insure. Well, you just had a situation like that. There's a rental company in California, and I'm not making an accusation about anything, but it looks pretty suspect, where the entire lot full of cars, or at least 3 of them, 2 Lambos and something else, all burned down. You had an Aventador Roadster, whatever it was. Now it's a Roadster. But it was on Instagram, Supercar Fails, I think the company name, and I've never heard of them before, so if I get the acronym wrong, it was KSL Exotics out of Los Angeles. Again, could be a new company, just could be a pop-up company. I have no idea. But it looks a little suspect, right? When you have your insurance, your responsibility to keep your cars effectively in one piece outside of rental use. So the renter's insurance covers the cars while that's being done. And you cover your cars. You have them in a warehouse. You have security systems. You have cameras. And this didn't seem to be the case. And it was a little bit disingenuous. Just looking, a couple of people sent this over. And they're like, hey, look at this fire. You just talked about this on VinWiki about these massive insurance claims when people burn down a couple of cars or have a couple of cars stolen. And then a week later, it happens to a rental company in California. When I say rental company, I have no idea who these people are. I don't know who the owner is. I don't know who... if they've been around for 10 years. I've been out of that market for a minute, so I couldn't tell you one way or another if it's a legit company, if it's a pop-up company, or what the situation is. It's just probably $750,000 worth of cars burning down at the same time. I would look into whether or not the cars have been rented a lot, whether they've been sort of depreciated with the health of the company, all sort of stuff like that, because I saw the pleas from the company as to hey, help us find whoever caused this crime. And I don't know, it didn't seem very genuine to me. And I would ask that you guys give me the same hard time if all of my cars burned down outside my shop with no security camera footage. I mean, I've been doing this long enough. What am I going to do? If I have something like that happen, I'm going to show you the security cameras. Here's a link to the raw footage. If you can enhance the footage, you let me know. Not have a couple of cars parked outside, miraculously catch fire and be I'm going to give a $10,000 reward for anyone who helps us catch these vandals. It just didn't feel right. But again, completely different story. I'm talking about my insurance claims and why they took so long for this car and then the other car, the Lamborghini, to get settled out. Now, this car, they made the claim, and this was one of those stupid things where you have the insurance company saying, hey, okay, yeah, you just got to fix that car and then send us a bill. Sorry, lady, that's not how it works. I've been doing this for 17 years. Yeah, well, I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm like, all right, great. But you guys got to send out an adjuster. Whether you accept the claim, don't accept the claim, send out an adjuster. we're not accepting that claim because it was a taxi cab that hit the car. I'm like, great. I don't know if you recall, but your customers, the taxi cab is gone. They could have hit a taxi cab and took off. So you can't use this taxi cab story. They didn't make a police report. I just got this thing dropped off at my shop on a flatbed. No police report. They refused to. They just said it was a hit and run by a taxi cab. You can't say go find a mystery taxi cab somewhere in New York. It's the yellow one. And now say you're denying the claim. Well, it's a New York state claim. I'm like, no, it's not. New Jersey rental contract. They rented the car from New Jersey. What are we doing here? Just send out an adjuster. And they went back and forth for a while. Ultimately, I just fixed the car. And then like 6 weeks later, they send, whoa, don't fix that car yet. We're sending out an adjuster. After I sent a demand letter saying, like, New Jersey insurance, New Jersey law applies. Then all of a sudden they fire an adjuster out. But it wasted 6 weeks on this car while it was down. And ultimately, obviously, they paid for it. They were responsible to pay for it. The idea that, and this is going to bleed into the Lambo, the idea that the customer like doesn't make a claim. We even had this on the AMG. Like, oh, the customer didn't say anything, or we can't get in touch with the customer, so we're not responsible. Or the customer said somebody else caused the damage. Great. While the car is under a rental contract, that's where these lovely things called rental contracts come into play, right? Here's a rental contract. It says, I am taking responsibility for this vehicle, that vehicle, whatever I'm taking from your possession, I'm going to take responsibility until I bring it back, right? Here's my insurance. You verified my insurance. My insurance verified that they're covering the car while I'm using it. Then something happens, and then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, yeah, no, that one, yeah, that's tough. And that's where it just gets frustrating. So this one took about, probably 8 weeks. You guys can go look at the last upload on that as to when it got whacked. I think it was about $15,000 worth of damage. And now the big number is going to be the loss of use, because now we're going to go after them for the loss of use for the car being down for 8 weeks for their own reasoning, for dragging it out. And I'm like, look, why don't you just send an adjuster out? At least you can say that you know what the repair is, because they're saying, no, we do this all the time, Hertz, Avis, whatever. You send us a bill after you repair the car. I'm like, well, what if you don't like how I repaired the car? What if you say you could have repaired it differently? I've got a right to repair the car at my shop, but you also have a right to estimate and write your own estimate on the car, and then that you and the body shop can negotiate whatever you want to negotiate. So it was really weird that they took that approach. 8 weeks later, a $15,000 repair is going to turn into, I don't even want to say, I'm going to say probably a $40,000 loss of use claim. And why would you go after $40,000? I didn't have the car for 2 months. I can't rent a car that I don't have because of somebody else. And that was inherently the problem. Now, fast forward to the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is a whole nother can of worms, because that's turning. Now, I just sent my lawyers over to the insurance company because the insurance company is doing an investigation, right? What does that mean? Oh, we're investigating. All right, well, when are you going to have an answer for me? It's been 2.5 months on that Lamborghini. We're still investigating coverage. He seems to rent a lot, and that's not what the policy's for. I'm like, wait, that's between you and your customer, right? Senior investigator for insurance company. You verified the insurance. You verified he was covered. And then you're saying since he rents cars frequently, like once a month, that for some reason you feel he's not responsible for, or you're not responsible for covering him for this claim. They sort of went MIA. I sent a demand letter over to them. I threatened legal action. Now, retainer over to the attorneys, and boom, I'm going to have to sue the insurance company to step up to the plate and get this claim taken care of. Very frustrating. Their claim is that they're investigating the driver and the passenger's stories don't line up. I'm like, great. They were driving the car. They crashed the car. It's your customer on a rental agreement that they signed on an insurance policy that you verified. Well, yeah, we verified it, but we verified that he had insurance. And I'm like, great, let me hear the phone call. We don't release that. I'm like, all right, well, why don't you hold on to that phone call? Because when we sue you, if it comes to that, we're going to motion for that in discovery, where you accept responsibility for it and you tell us he's covered before we give him the car. And then you take now 2.5 months to investigate and get sworn statements from these guys where nothing changes. The guy still rented the car. He was in the car. They crashed it. Like, There's nothing. Oh, it was another hit and run, by the way. That's a big thing. When you damage something, it's like, oh yeah, it was a hit and run. It was a deer. I mean, you hear it 1,000 times. I will let you know how that plays out. But it's been a exhaustive couple of months insurance-wise. I don't even want to know what that loss of use claim is going to look like on that Lamborghini. But that's going to be I hate when lawyers get involved. Like usually we don't have to get lawyers involved with insurance companies, but this one is a case where we do. And hopefully that gets results quickly because they don't even call me back now. I would blow up the insurance. Whoa. I would present the insurance company's name in the video. Blowing up is slang for like making you known to everybody. I would drop the name of the insurance company if I remember what it was. And I don't want to say the wrong name because I've been dealing with so many insurance companies. So I'll save that for the future video if this doesn't get resolved relatively soon anyway, and it requires an update. But right now, lawyers are working on the Lamborghini, and this is back. This is getting sold. My Range Rover sold in 4 hours. Yeah, I told you it was a hot car. So, but I did find a bunch of other Range Rovers. I thank everybody that sent me links to Range Rovers. There's a lot of 20 and 21 V6s, not so many V8s out there. The V8 is the one I need. I think I do have a line on a couple of them. A couple of dealers reached out to me directly that they can get me one. And we should have a new one coming right quick. It's just waiting for the check to clear from the previous sale. Once that clears, we go to the dealership, get another one, and I'll make a video about my new 2021 V8 Range Rover and share it with all of you guys. So thank you for watching. Sorted tomorrow. I got to bring up Rob Dahm. I mean, I guess this is like really late in the video to bring up Rob Dahm. Rob Dahm raced Ken Block. That was a big thing. Everyone's like, oh, Rob Dahm should have been on Sorted. He was invited on Sorted. He did not come onto Sorted because he was supposed to race Ken Block that same day. He wasn't ready for that day, so they did the second day. They went out, they raced. I'm glad his car is moving on its own power. I'm glad that it did not break mechanically while he was racing. It did sort of, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, so definitely go watch it. But it did have its own issues during that race. I'm happy. I'm happy we're getting one step closer to me racing and lining up with Rob. We just have to figure out what sort of racing we end up doing. I mean, racing in a dig race against my Corvette on a sequentially 12, 13, 1400 horsepower car, he'll probably win from a dig to whatever. But when you introduce other elements to racing, maybe like turns or keeping all your body panels on your car while we're driving, it'll be a closer race. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, Rob Ferretti, congratulations to Rob. Me and Rob, like as much as I'm rooting for him, and I hope that car is as sorted as it could possibly be. I know it takes a while to shake him out, and I hope he shakes out all the bugs and we can get out there, because it's not cheap for us to get together, because he's on one side of the country, I'm on the other one. So for us to link up and race, I hope that we can both give it the old college try before the theatrics. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Sorted coming tomorrow, 4 o'clock. See you then.
Vipers are cars for crazy people. Let's go drive. Come on now.
Oh my God!
Hey, fucking run! Whoa, yeah!
You're not supposed to feel that in the car.
Holy freaking fuck.
And then it does a burnout at 5,500 in third gear. 1 hour of track time. Power mirrors don't work. Air conditioning doesn't work. Airbag doesn't exist.